Okay, so real quick, little housekeeping chore, so to speak. I need to replace the end on an extension cord. So I thought I'd do a quick video on how I'm going to do that. As you see here, the ground plug, there's a third plug right here, a ground plug, has been broken off, and that's a safety hazard and also will fail inspection for certain jobs. So I'm just going to go ahead and swap it out. I bought this is like $4 at a hardware store. It's easy to put on. First thing you got to do is cut the old head off. Really, the only tools you're going to need for this job is a Phillips head screwdriver and a pair of wire cutters and strippers. You strip. Oh, and you're going to need a razor blade, so or a knife. All right, so that's done. Also, I'm only clamping this down just barely enough to hold it. You don't want to like smash it in there or anything. First thing you're going to do is going to strip the insulation off. You want to be careful not to cut the interior, the wires insulation on the inside. So better not deep enough than too deep on your first run. You see, like I did, I got that one there. So we'll have to strip it down until we get where we haven't messed up. I got it a little in the beginning, but it's fine now. You don't want a lot of excess wire. Just gonna real gently just cut around the outside of this. We're really just scoring that because it will tear if you score it deep enough. There we go. So we don't cut all the way through it. I didn't cut all the way through that. All I did is just scored around it, maybe cutting halfway through this insulation. You see how thick that is? This is on a 12 gauge wire. Then I'm going to find where I slit this about halfway. I cut a little too deep, so I'm going to snip that off. Well, we need some of it exposed, so actually we really have more here than we need. We'll pull these screws out real quick. There's just 3 screws here, and it comes with just one of them that is actually tightened down. That's how you pull the plug out. So this is just the housing. It just kind of houses the wires, and these are where your wires go. This is your ground right here. It's green. And then your white wire goes to your silver, and then on this side there's a brass screw, and that's your black. So you're going to want to loosen this. This is just a crimps down on the wire insulation to hold everything in place. We're going to loosen this up so we can get the wire through. And just pull that back out of the way. We'll come back to it. What you can do is you can kind of pull this forward. You want to have a little bit of insulation sticking through. There's not a lot of room down inside of these for extra wire. So it kind of gives you an idea. We have way more wire here than we need. So I'm going to snip most of this off. And you can always, I mean, it's a 100-foot extension cord, so you can always, you know, snip a little more insulation off if you take too much off. But really, that's really all you need there is about 1 inch of exposed, and then you're going to take and snip off maybe a 1/4 inch of that wire insulation, maybe a little more than that. Same for the black and the white side. I like to twist these around, try to get them to hold on to themselves, these ends. Okay, well anyway, once you get these things twisted, you need to take and loosen up your wire, these screws here, which they actually are already loose. So anyway, green into the green screw here. There are, right under this green screw, there's this little horseshoe shaped, I don't know if you can see it, like this little horseshoe shaped piece of metal, and that's just a clamp that you put it in. And make sure that's good and tight. See, it's clamped down in there. Pull it, it's not coming off. And then you just work your way around. Anyway, once you get it clamped down, next step, you kind of want to have, a little tip here is to have gravity work with you with these little clamps. So have the one that you're trying to put the wire into facing down so it's holding that clamp down. Like I said, you do not have a lot of spare room to work with on these. Alright, once you got it good and tight, then you just have to pull this cover up over it. And down inside of here, I don't know if there's enough light, but you'll see there's 3 places for your screws in the front to go, so you got to get that lined up. There's a little spring right here. Okay, and what that does is it grounds the case so that if you have a ground fault, you grab the case, it doesn't shock you. So this tab wants to go on that spring. Okay, so now that's been replaced, everything's on there tight. The last thing you're going to do, well, not the last thing, but the next thing you're going to do is you're going to tighten down this clamp. You'll notice that the insulation for the wire goes all the way up past the clamp and up into the body of the plug, and that's what you're looking for. And that's why, even though it's a pain, you only cut about a ½ an inch, maybe an inch of wire in there, because you just don't have the room. Alright, so last thing we're going to do is we're going to plug it in like this. No, not really. Just kidding. Alright, then we're going to grab our other end, which you see I've already replaced quite a while ago actually. And this is a ground fault circuit tester. Actually gives you all the codes right there. Focus. But you get the idea. It tells you there these will light up. Alright, so, but you get the idea. You just plug this in here. So it looks like we have 2 yellows and 2 yellows. This is a yellow. So, and this is lit up. I don't know if you can see it. It is lit up. So, and 2 yellows is correct. There you go. So it lets you know if you have any shorts and any wires. It'll tell you if you have an open ground, an open neutral, if you have an open hot. So it'll also tell you if your hot and ground are reversed, or if your hot and your neutral are reversed, or basically it tells you if your wire orientation, if you wired that plug up right. So, but we have 2 yellows, and 2 yellows indicate that it is correct. So. And you can pick these up at the hardware store. Pretty much any hardware store will have them for like 10 bucks. Okay, that is my quick tutorial on how to replace a plug. Just make sure that your the wires go into the terminals, and you tighten them down real good. And that you do a clean job, and that everything's secure. And then it's always good to take that $10 tester and make sure that you have everything hooked up so you're not going to zap anybody. Until next time.